the preparation for me, it's very critical. Customer critical. That's the time also that the devil is trying to disturb you, out of focus na ka. He's using different things until lahat-lahat na naranasan ko work-wise. They are really, this week, I'm so busy that every time I went home, gusto ko na lang humiga, but still I need to like read. And then those requirements that they are asking me for a long time, they keep asking me regarding my religious accommodation, and that stress me really, I don't know. But lahat-lahat, family-wise, back home, everything, kasi lang ngayon, every time I've been reading, maawan ngayon because i-divert na kayo pa panunutong na madi. Kadagay problema. But then Lord, help me. Ano ito no? Okay, so it's another day to worship the Lord together, and it's a great opportunity for us to learn from His words. We are in the second Sunday of our theme, A Journey to Pentecost. Last Sunday, Pastor shared about the meeting of Jesus and the disciples after resurrection behind closed doors. Diba? Nasa sila, isang bahay. Then Jesus just, nag-appear na lang si Jesus. And the key people, of course, are the disciples and Jesus. But most highlighted was Thomas, kung natatanda nyo. Today, we will continue to see what happened after the resurrection of Jesus in their continuous journey to Pentecost. Our main character for today's message is one of the disciples who has his own crisis. Not of doubt, of course, si Thomas lang yun. Si Thomas ang may issue nun. But today is a failed man, Peter. So the main character will be Peter. And as we all know, Peter is one of the closest disciples of Jesus who had made a bold promises. Ano mga yon? He had vowed down that even if everyone else deserted Jesus, he never would. He also promised that I will not deny you, Lord. He also said, Lord, I am ready to go with you, both in prison and to death. Yun yung mga sinabi ni Peter. And yet, on the night of Jesus' arrest, Peter denied him, not once, but 3 times. Can you imagine how heavy that must have weighed on Peter's heart? After all the miracles he had witnessed, after years of walking with Jesus closely, eating with him, he also declared that Jesus was the Messiah. But in the moment of crisis, Peter failed. Maybe you know that feeling. Is it sounds familiar to you? Maybe there have been moments in your life where you've fallen short, where fear, shame, or regret have made you wonder if God could still use you. Maybe you feel exhausted, tired of serving Him, or feeling parang routine na lang ang ginagawa ko. Or maybe you feel unworthy because of your shortcomings or you did something that you yourself know that it's not pleasing to His sight. Maybe you feel that way. Like I think last Sunday, those burned out, and again, it will like continuously nakikarry on, and then like the praise and worship, the prayer. Lord, I think your people are tired, and we need you. And you end up asking yourself, is my failure too great for God's grace? Or am I still worthy to be used by Him? But the good news is that Jesus does not leave us in our failures. This morning, we will see how Jesus goes after Peter, not to condemn him, but to restore him. But by the shore of the Sea of Galilee, in the very first place where Peter first followed him, Jesus extends an invitation once again. Follow me. This is a story of grace that redeems, love that restores, and purpose that remains even after failure. So if you ever wonder if God still has a place for you, if you ever felt unworthy of His calling, this message is for you, it's for us, it's for me. Because Jesus is not finished with you yet. Jesus is not finished with us yet. Let's dive into John 21 and see what happens when the risen Christ meets Peter in his moment and restores him to a life of love and purpose. May I ask Brother Daniel to read John 21, verse 1 to 9, and Jason, verses 10 to 19.
John 21, John 21, verse 1 to 19. Afterward,
Verse 1 to 9.
Afterward, Jesus appeared again to his disciples by the Sea of Galilee. It happened this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, also known as Didymus, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, the son of Zebedee, and two other disciples were together. I'm going out to fish. Simon Peter told them, and they said, we'll go with you. So they went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. He called out to them, friends, haven't you any fish? No, they answered. He said, throw your net on the right side of the boat and you will find some. When they did, they were unable to hold the net in because of the large number of fish. Then the disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, it is the Lord. As soon as Simon Peter heard him say, it is the Lord, he wrapped his outer garment around him, for the other disciples followed in the boat, towing the net full of fish, for they were not far from shore, about 100 yards. When they landed, they saw a fire of burning coals there with fish on it and some bread. Jesus said to them, bring some of the fish you have just caught.
Verse 10, verse 11. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to the land full of great fishes, and 153, And for all there were so many. Yet was not the net broken. Jesus said unto them, Come and dine. And none of the disciples durst ask him, Who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. Jesus then come and take bread and given them, and fish likewise. This is now the third time that Jesus showed himself to his disciple, after that he was risen from the dead. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, Love thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. He said unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest all that I love thee. Jesus said unto him, Feed my sheep. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walk whither to thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy arms, and others shall greet thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest. This spake he, signified by what that he should glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, Follow me.
Thank you. May the Lord bless the reading of His Word. And I will be speaking, or will be tackling the topic, Restored in Commission. And after the resurrection, the disciples found themselves at a crossroads. Jesus had appeared to them, proving that He was alive. But what now? Kahit na siya ay nabuhay na. They had spent 3 years of following Him, watching Him perform miracles, listening to His teachings, and believing He would establish God's kingdom. But now, things are different. They didn't yet understand what comes next. Of course, Peter, the natural leader of the group, made a decision. Ano yung nakita natin, nabasa natin? Sabi niya, guys, wala na to. I am going fishing. Balik na akong mangisda. Sa John 21:3. Actually, this was not just a casual fishing trip na ginagawa natin pag pumupunta tayo sa Silver Lake na you go there and sometimes you go fishing. It's just not a casual trip fishing trip. It was a return to what was familiar. Balik na sila kung ano yung nakagisnan nila. Remember, before Jesus had called him to be a disciple, Peter was a fisherman. Now, after the weight of his denial and the uncertainty of what to do next, he went back to the life he knew before Jesus. He went back fishing. Ang nakakaano doon, inumpluwensyahan pa niya yung mga kasama niya. Hindi lang siya. Ano sabi doon? Sama din kami. This moment speaks to a deep human tendency. When we feel lost, when we are unsure of our purpose, or when we feel like we've failed, we often retreat to what is familiar. It's just easy for us to go back to what is familiar to us. We go back to old habits, old ways of thinking, and sometimes even to places we once left behind. Maybe you also felt that engaging your time to read the Bible and praying that you used to do seems a waste of time, or seems you have no time, or seems that it's already boring. Maybe you don't have the joy doing what the Lord had entrusted you to do, or God called you to be. Did we ever felt like this in your Christian journey? You felt like a failure, you grumble, you mess up, and the easiest thing to do is to go back to what was safe and comfortable. Parang playing safe ka na para hindi ka halatadong you are drifting away. Para hindi naman nila halata, ganito ang sitwasyon ko. Of course, I need to go in the Sunday, para siyempre, hindi na sabi nila na wala akong problema. That's what exactly Peter experienced. He may have thought, I blew it. I denied Jesus. Maybe I'm not cut out for this disciple thing after all. Maybe, sabi na, baka hindi naman talaga ako para sa, sa kitchen ministry, sa ushering ministry, sa council, sa praise and worship, sa Sunday school. Baka hindi naman talaga yun. Yun ang easiest way na pwede nating sabihin. Yet, even in this moment of uncertainty, Jesus met him in a powerful way, and this is an important truth for all of us. Jesus does not wait for us to get everything figured out. He comes to us even when we retreat to the familiar. In John 21, verse 4 to 14, it says there, as our story progresses, we learn that the disciples had spent the entire night fishing. So, bumalik na nga sila, nag-fishing sila the whole night. Yun, na talagang they tried their best na mangisda. But unfortunately, sabi ng Biblia, they caught nothing. For experienced fishermen, this would have been discouraging and frustrating. Ang gagaling nila, they have been a fisherman for a long time before Jesus called them. So they know the strategy, they know where to go, they know how to, i-etcha siguro yung net. But that night, they caught nothing. And that's very discouraging. That's very, very frustrating. They had returned to what they knew best, yet even in their own experience, own expertise, they came up empty. Kasi yung sa isip nila, nawala na nga ang Panginoon sa kanila, nawala na yung calling nila na maging fishers of men, bumalik sila sa dati nilang trabaho, but then yung dati nilang kung saan sila magaling, wala pa rin nangyari. This next moment of failure set the stage for Jesus to reveal His power and presence. In that very moment, Jesus met them and revealed Himself just at the right moment, just on time. kung we experience or we feel something, we are exhausted, we feel discouraged, on that very moment that you want to give up, that's that time also God will reveal Himself to you. As the sun began to rise, a voice called from the shore, "Children, do you have any fish?" The question was not for Jesus' knowledge. He already knew the answer. Instead, He was inviting them to acknowledge their need. Alam na ni Jesus na meron silang makukuha, but in His part, He wants them to acknowledge yung condition nila on that time. They responded, sabi nila, simply no. Then, the next instruction, sinabi ni Jesus, "Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." It must have seemed unusual. They have been fishing all night, so siguro, I'm very sure na initsa nila ng net sa left side, initsa nila yung net sa right side, initsa nila yung net sa forward, backward. They did everything. But sabi ni Jesus, cast your net on the right side of the boat. What's the difference in that thing? But in obedience, they did. As they were told, and immediately, the net filled with so many fish that they could hardly pull it in. In that moment, John's eyes were open. "It is the Lord," unahan ni John. He recognized what was happening because this was not the first time Jesus had done something like this. Naipaalala kay John, kasi hindi nila ma-recognize na si Jesus yung nag-uutos sa kanila. But when the miracle happened, John's eyes were open. And sabi niya, "It is the Lord." It mirrored a similar miracle from the beginning of their journey. Remember when Jesus had called Peter, James, and John to follow Him? The same miracle had happened. Yung sinabi ni Jesus, "Cast your net," and then when they hinila na, ang daming isda. So, na-recognize na open yung isip ni John. This was not a coincidence. This was Jesus revealing Himself through an act of provision. Peter's reaction was immediate and passionate. The moment he realized it was Jesus, he couldn't contain himself. Alam niyo naman ang personality ni Peter is very impulsive. So, narinig na niya na gano'n, hindi niya mapigilan yung sarili niya. He threw on his outer garment and jumped into the water to get to Jesus as fast as possible. For Peter, this was not just about a miraculous catch, it was about the one who had called him. Hindi siya interesado sa marami nilang nakuha, but mas interesado siya kung sino yung gumawa ng miracle. The one he had denied, and the one who was standing on the shore waiting for him. Yung dininay niya, yung pinagkanulo niya, ayun pala yung someone is waiting for him on the shore. This moment teaches us a deep truth also, that without Jesus, even our best efforts can feel empty. But with Him, Even simple acts become fruitful. Ano ito? Yung mga disciples, they are experienced fishermen, but then they caught nothing. But nung sinabi ni Jesus na cast your net to the right side, their nets were filled, punong-puno. So, kung wala si Jesus, even our best talents, best gift, can feel empty. Walang saysay. But with Jesus, smallest thing that we can do to Him will become fruitful. When the rest of the disciples reached the shore, they found Jesus already prepared a meal for them. Fish and bread cooked over a fire. What a beautiful picture of Christ's love. He was not just providing for their physical needs. He was welcoming them back into relationship with Him. God is not just providing provision for our physical need. Kung we are on that situation, He was welcoming us back into relationship with Him. Even before Peter could say a word, Jesus already invited him to sit and eat. Siguro, sabi ni Jesus, "Ikaw muna magsalita. Just sit and eat." Just like us, He meets us in our everyday lives. He calls to us, provides for us, and reveals Himself in ways we may not expect. It's a matter of recognizing Him, obeying Him, and receiving His healing in love. First, we should be ma-recognize natin. We should recognize Him na Siya lang ang makakatulong sa atin. And if we recognize Him, we should obey Him and receive His healing in love to us. After breakfast, Jesus turned His attention to Peter. And in doing so, we bear witness to one of the most intentional and restorative conversations to have occurred in all of the Bible, the restoration of Peter. Ano doon? Sabi doon, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than this?" Jesus addressed Peter by his full name, just as He had when first calling him to follow. This was not just Peter's affection, it was about his commitment. Some scholars believe that yung praise na more than this refers to the other disciples asking Peter of his love for Jesus surpassed theirs. Ibig sabihin nun na ang paniniwala ng interpretation ng ibang scholar na do you love me more than this ay kung si Peter ay mas masusurpass niya yung pagmamahal niya kaysa sa mga ibang disciples. Kasi yung pagmamahal niya kay Jesus ay mas malalim kaysa ibang disciples. But other scholars, Bible scholars, Jesus is referring to the fishing boats and nets the life of Peter had once known. Ibig sabihin, tinatanong ng Panginoon, "Peter, mas mahal mo ba ako kaysa itong bangka mo? Mas mahal mo ba ako kaysa sa trabaho mo? Mas mahal mo ba ako kaysa mga itong maraming isda?" But either way, Sino, scholar 1 or scholar 2, Jesus was challenging Peter to examine the depth of his devotion, kung gaano kalalim ang kanyang pagmamahal at debosyon sa Panginoon. And also we can read here, 3 times Jesus asked this question. Bakit 3 beses na inas ni pa, do you love me more than this? Do you love me more than this? Para ba kung ikaw ay mag-asawa kayo, mahal mo ba ako talaga, love? Tapos, oo naman, mahal kita. Mahal mo ba talaga ako? Totoong-totoo? Para bang hanggang 3 baka mabisit na yung Parang, wala. Parang, naman. Parang 3 beses mo, para bang hindi ka tiwala na mahal ka ng, parang gano'n ang feeling siguro ni Peter. Why? Sabi dito, because also, Peter had denied Jesus 3 times. This was not a coincidence, it was grace in action. With each question, Jesus was undoing Peter's failure and reaffirming his calling. Peter's denial had been public 3 times. In this very moment, Peter's restoration will be in public also. Kung yung pag-deny ni Peter 3 times, it was publicly denial. He denied Jesus 3 times with the, yung servant, tapos, yung yung scenario. In a public place. This one, also, Jesus restored Peter publicly with sa mga kasama niyang mga disciples that I am restoring you from your condition. With each question, Jesus was, as I said, undoing Peter's failure and reaffirming his calling. At first, Peter answered confidently. Anong sabi ni Peter? Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. But by the 3rd time, Scripture says he was grieved. Other translation says he was hurt. 3 beses bunga naman tanungin na kung mahal mo talaga ako. Perhaps he felt the weight of his past mistake. Naparealize sa kanya yung ginawa niya na 3 times he denied Jesus, and then 3 times din na tinanong ni Jesus, do you love me, Peter? But yet, Jesus was not trying to shame him. He was bringing him to a place of healing. Peter's love was real, but Jesus wanted to see that in his love there was also a deeper calling. Each time Peter affirmed his love, Jesus gave him commission. Ano yung first sabi dito? Feed my lamb. Do you love me more than this? Yes, Lord. You know that I love you. And sabi ni Jesus, feed my lamb. Ano kaya ang ibig sabihin nito? Jesus is asking Peter to take good care for the young and vulnerable in faith. Second, tend my sheep. Jesus wants Peter to guard and protect the flock, providing leadership and direction. And the third, feed my sheep. Jesus wants Peter to continue to nurture, teach, and lead God's people. At nangyari ito, di ba? Nangyari ito when they started the first early church. Peter was the leader, and he discipled those, yung mga kasama niya, yung mga new converts. Inalagaan niya yung mga vulnerable in faith, those who are young Christians. And also, he was the leader. He led those disciples na natira. And also, not just lead them, nurture them, and continue to teach them. In one of the fruit, either, it's not directly na si Paul ay under sa ministry ni Peter, but because of his teaching, of course, Paul was one of the fruit of this ministry. And we know that Paul was one of the greatest apostle of all time. Jesus was making it clear, Peter's story was not over. His failure did not define him, but his calling did. What this means for us, Peter's restoration reminds us of three key truths. Jesus does not give up on us. Even we fall short, He calls us back. Number 2, love for Jesus leads to action. If we love Him, we are called to serve others. Number 3, God uses our failures for His glory. Peter went on to become a pillar of the early church, not in spite of his past, but because of God's redemption in it. Have you ever felt like you messed up too badly for God to use you? Peter must have felt that way. But Jesus is in the business of restoration. He does not define us by our worst moment. He calls us forward in love. And to end this message, after restoring Peter, Jesus gave him a glimpse of his future. It would not be easy. Peter would one day give his life for the gospel. On that time, ready na si Peter. Hindi na niya mas madaling bitawan ang pagmamahal niya kay Jesus. Noong bibitayan na si Jesus Christ, it's just easy for him to deny Jesus. But in this restoration, in this commission moment, nakita na natin na kaya na niyang ibigay ang buong sarili niya. Kahit mamatay siya, in the future, he will not deny Jesus anymore. It would not be easy, but Peter will give his life. But Jesus' final words to him were simple and powerful. Just follow me. Just follow me. Peter's story is our story. We have all failed in some way. We have all doubt, stumbled, and turned away. We got tired, exhausted, and burned out. But Jesus does not cast us aside. He restores us. And He calls us to serve Him, not out of duty, but out of love. Our failures do not disqualify us from God's mission. Instead, Jesus meets us where we are, transforms our brokenness with His grace, and calls us forward in love. Today's message reminds us that Jesus does not need perfect people to build His kingdom. Ulitin tigay. It will remind us that Jesus does not need perfect people to build His kingdom. He calls those who are willing to follow Him even after failure. Kahit na ilang beses tayong madapa. But if we allow Jesus to restore us, He is still willing to use us even after failure. He calls those who will say, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." And then He will say, "Go, then and feed His sheep, and feed my sheep." In this commission, it's not just for Peter, it's for all of us too. Peter's calling is our calling. To love Jesus and to show that love by caring for others, by sharing the gospel, by being His hands and feet in a world that desperately needs Him. We are the hands and feet of this world. Wala na si Peter. Kaya sabi dito na Peter's calling is also our calling. We are the modern Peter right now. Though Peter was a failed man, but God restored him and commissioned him. As we also, I don't know our condition, but maybe at the past or maybe this very moment we are exhausted, we are tired, we mess up, but God still wants us to be used, to be the hands and feet of this world. In Jesus' final words to Peter, the same words He spoke to him at the very beginning when He called him, "Peter, follow me." And also the words that He will also leave to us. Whatever your situation, whatever our experience, ever or how, kahit gaano ka-worse yung failures natin, we will go back to that word when Jesus said, "Follow me." Allow Jesus to restore and commission you again. And let us answer this question. Ano yung natin? When Jesus asked you this question, that He wants us to Peter, do you love me more than this? Kaya natin sagutin niyo. Very confident ba tayo sabihin? Yes, Lord! You know that I love you! But feed my lamb. Tend my sheep. Feed my sheep. Big responsibility, right? Are we still saying, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you"? We failed, but it's not your identity. God called us, so let us continue to that calling, even in the worst failure that we have. And please answer that question that Jesus once asked to Peter. "Madonna, do you love me more than this? More than your failure? More than your shortcomings?" I should supposed to say, "Yes, Lord, I love you. You know that I love you. Even I'm this, I'm so weak, I'm weak. Lord, I love you." That will be our answer to the Lord. And if we answer that to the Lord, please make sure that you mean it. Because God mean business. Hindi siya naglulukot, hindi lang bara-bara lang. God mean business to each one of us. Because when He saved us, He meant business to die at the cross. Now it's our time to be the hands and feet of this work. May the Lord bless us and may us Elma to lead us in